What is up, people? Today I will be reviewing John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum, coming up for you guys next. So I just got back from John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum, and I have a whole lot to discuss with you guys about it today. And if you have already seen this, comment down below, let me know what you thought about it. And if you like this video, guess what? I have a whole lot more like this, so subscribe right down here. And let me tell you, next time one of my reviews come out. And getting into John Wick Chapter 3. This movie was directed by Chad Stahelski, and it stars Keanu Reeves, Ian McShane, Halle Berry, and Lawrence Fishburne. Now, I know that I've never actually talked to you guys about the John Wick franchise before, but let me tell you, much like a whole lot of people out there, I love this franchise. I really do like what it has been doing for the art of stunt work, how it just displays the beautiful ballet of violence that are in these movies. You know, I really feel like John Woo and his whole style of gun fu is very well recreated in these John Wick films, and that is because Chad Stahelski is a action choreographer, and he is a stuntman. And in the matter of fact, I believe that he was Keanu's stuntman in the original Matrix, or at least one of them. So that is going to be a key element in all of the John Wick films, and definitely here, and we will talk about that today. But that isn't all that makes a movie. A movie needs a plot and interesting characters and a whole world that is interesting as well. And guess what? That is very much this John Wick franchise. And even though in the second John Wick film, some of the world building that they do with the society and the high table gets kind of muddy in that second film. And even though I really do love that second film, some of the mythology in it it doesn't play, or it doesn't sit with me as well as everything else that is in that great movie. And largely, this movie dials it back. It doesn't throw so much of the mythology in your face, and this one really keeps it simple. And that is something that I definitely appreciated about that first John Wick film, and I like the fact that it was dialed back here. All of the mythology with the whole society of hitmen that are out there that John Wick is involved with, and all of everything that is going on with the round table and all of that feels very organic to this particular story that they want to tell here. And it doesn't feel like a whole lot, there is some, but not a whole lot is here to just introduce things for the next film. And even if there are things that are here that I did notice, because I did notice some, it feels organic to this story, and it just doesn't stick out like a sore thumb in this particular movie. And that is such a compliment. You know, this is simple enough to say, without getting into any spoilers, that this is just Keanu Reeves is John Wick. The bounty on his head has reached $14 million. Everybody's going to be out for him, and he's on the run. He has nowhere else to turn, and he is just a man that has to fight to survive. And that is it. You do get a whole lot more into who John is as a person and what motivates him. You know, why is he still doing what he's doing? I realize that his wife passed, his dog died, and everything that happened to John Wick around that point in time, it happened, but that is very much over with, and there is something about John that keeps him going, and they address that here without going too much into his backstory, because I feel like if you go too far into a character that was largely left ambiguous. I'm going to go with Wolverine as a very good example, Marvel's Wolverine. As you go into that character's backstory, a lot of the allure of the character kind of goes away, and a lot of everything that makes him interesting disappears because it's all laid out for you, and they do a very good job at feeding you little kernels about John's life without laying everything out, so there is no mystery left. We are very much still wondering about who John was before all of this happened to him, and even though that we are getting little bits and pieces, we still are left interested. And that is just excellent script writing in my point of view, because it's not always done a lot these days. These days, films are just so quick to explain everything that nothing is left ambiguous. But that is all fine and good, but what people are here for is the action. And the action in here is so stepped up from any of the other John Wick films. I did not think that they could do this, but let me tell you, people, without giving any of it away, because I feel like a lot of it is a surprise, or it was a surprise to me just how far they were going to go with this action. But I will just say that they mix it up here a lot. John Wick isn't going to just step into the room like a badass and double tap everybody. He is tactical, as always. John's a very tactical fighter, and he always goes into a situation knowing exactly how he's going to handle himself, but he is forced to mix it up here because he is on the run. So you will get hand-to-hand combat, you will get sword fights, you will get the gun fu that you know John to do, and you will just get the craziest action scenes and the most well choreographed action that you have seen in a while. And that is saying a lot, because last year we got Mission Impossible Fallout, which also had great action, but I feel like the actual choreography of it is stepped up here. This is a new plateau for American action films. This is the gold standard, people. And to find a movie that I feel like you are going to see action like this, I literally would have to go to Indonesia, to The Raid. And that is a movie that had excellent action that very well handles itself a lot like this. And in the matter of fact, I know for a fact that Chad Stahelski looked to The Raid, because there are actors in that film that actually appear here towards the end of the film. Halle Berry actually has some amazing action. And even though she has a minor role here, she really is only in this movie for about 20 minutes. It is a great 20 minutes that has an amazing action scene to cap it off. All of the supporting actors are great here as well. Ian McShane, I always love getting him in a film. He is great here. And along with that, Lawrence Fishburne is... I don't know how necessary his character is. He was one of the characters that kind of felt very expository in John Wick Chapter 2, and he kind of feels that way here, but I do like seeing him nonetheless. My only gripe here is that there is a middle portion of this movie that John is forced to go through this very short journey that really doesn't go anywhere in the larger scheme of this movie, and I feel like it was really put here to pad out the runtime so it equals out to around 2 hours, where this movie could have been about an hour and 40 minutes. But, you know, with that being said, this is an excellent, excellent action movie that has character and style to spare, and action scenes that are just top notch. Every action movie out there today should aspire to be this. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. This is damn good stuff. And as a side note here, the audio, because I did get to see this in Dolby Atmos, is amazing, and it just really uses the height speakers to the fullest. I cannot wait to hear this on home release. So coming up next to the channel, I do have to get into Civil War, the 4K Ultra HD version. Then I have to get into Alien and Hellboy. Also, I have a bunch of 4K stuff coming out for you guys. I know I am behind. Be patient. I am going to catch up with myself. I have it all planned out. So if you are excited about that, subscribe down here. And as always, thank you for watching my videos. You guys are awesome. I don't even need to say it because you know it. And I will see all of you next time.